going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to install the A91 CF style front lip on the car. So before I begin, I do want to give a big shout out to Extreme Online Store for providing this part over for me to review and install. So I'm actually recording this backwards. So as of this moment, I did finish installing it, but I'm redoing the intro because I do want to just let you guys know after the fact what the process looks like. Be prepared with a lot of patience because I wasn't expecting my install to take this long. Majority of it was because I do have a Maxxin Street Pro lip already, so I did have to uninstall that to install the carbon fiber CF style lip. I do want to let you guys know that this is actually not a full replacement like I initially thought. This is just going to sit over the OEM lip that you guys have. So what you guys will need is you guys will need a drill. You guys will also need a bolt with a flange and then a nut with another flange. Not all of the holes. Honestly, if you do 5, that should be enough. And you guys will see that later in the video what I did. You'll need to drill out the holes to be a little bit bigger to fit the appropriate size nut and bolt with flanges just so it sticks. The kit comes with self-tapping screws, but you guys don't want to use that. You guys will see later on with actual footage. You don't want to use the self-tapping screws because it does tap in, or it tries to tap in to existing holes. So of course, if the hole's already there, there's nothing to tap into. So that's why I would recommend using high quality nuts and bolts so it doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, lots of patience required. You might be able to do this without removing the front bumper, but I would recommend just removing it just to make it completely easy. So removing the front bumper is very, very easy. You guys will see that with the footage right now that I recorded that now I'm talking over. On the top, there are 10mm bolts. Can't remember the exact number, but there should be, I think, like 6 or so. On each side, you have 2 8mm screws. So make sure you have the socket for that. And then you'll have 3 on the splash guards in the wheel well on each side that you do need to remove so you can remove the bumper. So once you do try to remove the bumper, don't yank it out completely. Take it easy and just pull it out slowly but surely. You'll see the cables for the sensors. Make sure to unhook or remove the plug from the little holders just so it's a little bit easier for you to unplug. So once you have your front bumper off, then I'll let my past self explain the entire process and just what that looks like trying to install the part from Extreme Online Store. So hopefully you guys enjoy. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. So let's go ahead and get this box open. So I'm going to let you guys know what the plan is we're going to open the box. We're going to actually ceramic coat this with Adam's graphene. But right here, we are going to coat it with this first, just to make sure that whenever the car does sit outside or something happens, it's just protected from micro scratches. I mean, it's not really going to help with paint chips if you guys were curious what ceramic coating does, but it's going to make it more water repellent. It will prevent the UV rays from damaging the clear coat and the carbon fiber. So we're going to do 2 coats of that, and that is technically supposed to last 9 years, but I would be pretty happy if it lasts 5 years. So not sponsored by Adams, but excited to actually use this product on my car. The rest of my car is ceramic coated, if you guys are wondering, so that's why it does look slick. So we're going to do that, ceramic coat these carbon parts. We're going to take the bumper off. I'll show you guys what that process looks like. I will have to remove my Maxxin Design front splitter that I installed. I'm not going to show that because it's not relevant to this. So some of the process that you guys might see is going to be a little bit different. if your car is completely stock, because mine isn't. A lot of the splash guards that you guys have to remove underneath the car, I removed them already, so you guys won't have them. So let's go ahead and get right to the unboxing. All right, so we're gonna get our trusty box cutter here, get this opened. I have a nice sticker showing the Extreme Online Store logo. Pull this out carefully. So here we have the carbon parts. I'll unwrap it and show you guys the B-roll. So it comes with self-tapping screws, double-sided tape, 2 rolls, and pure alcohol towel. Here we got one side, really nice quality. Yeah, it's not just like hydro dip. This is actual carbon. So you guys can see the inside. And of course, leave comments down below on what you guys think. Seems to be pretty high quality. Will match nice with the other carbon stuff that I have going on in the front end. And of course, here you have the driver's side. Oh, put that down a little bit. Yeah, super, super nice. Love the carbon weave. Just one solid piece here. Here is the side-to-side difference between the CF style down here and then the OEM, obviously, which is currently on the car. So this side does go up a little bit higher on the bumper, as you all can see with the B-roll, and then you have that extra fin down here. So I'm thinking it will work with this Maxxin splitter that we have installed right now because of this extra space. If we can make it work, which I think it will work, it's gonna look super aggressive and will pair really nicely with this Rex Speed carbon piece that I have going on here. So what we'll do first is we'll decontaminate the Extreme Online Store CF style carbon pieces. Wait for those to cure a little bit. It's going to give us some time to take off the front bumper and get those installed. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, so before we begin, we'll need to just disinfect and remove any fingerprints on this, because I can see it like on the light, there's some fingerprints. But we'll get that cleaned off. So this spray is just 50% isopropyl alcohol, 50% water. So go ahead and just give it a good old wipe. And this is a really plush microfiber towel. If you know somebody who owns a body shop, have them add additional layers of clear coat to just make sure that your new carbon parts do not fade over time, especially if your guys' cars sit outside for pretty much a majority of its life. Apply liberally on your sponge with the microfiber or whichever applicator that you all decide to use. Gently wipe off with the towel. So let me go ahead and get this done, and then we'll move on to removing the bumper. So now we Should be able to just pop this off very slowly. And what you guys have to watch out for are the wires for the sensors. So I'll show you guys that right now. When you guys are pulling it off, there are some tabs over here that you just have to make sure to slide slowly. Right here are the plugs that you do have to remove. So right there that you can see. And again, this is for the sensor, so you might want to make sure that you are being careful when you remove that. Otherwise, your car is going to freak out. And then here you have this side. So we'll go ahead and get these unplugged. So now, as you guys can see, I got the front bumper off. Super heavy because of the diffuser, or the splitter, I should say.
A few moments later.
It's going to be tight. You're going to have to basically wiggle it into place. And I'll show you guys what it looks like once you set it in there. So I worked my way from this side all the way over here, and basically I just massaged the carbon piece over here until it sat in. So there's still a gap here, as you can see with the lighting right there, but we're gonna work to get that to sit in. So the double-sided tape does help to actually sit on this side that you can see there. But you want to be careful and just kind of wiggle it in to sit properly. So you can see the style definitely goes up higher. And once we have this on the ground, I'll show you guys what it looks like. But it came with self-tapping screws, but what I ended up doing was I just got some bolts and nuts that I had laying around. So similar to like this, for the more shallow ones, what I did was a nut that has a flange on the end. Don't mind my torn glove. And then a flange on the bolt side too. So all of the holes that come in these, in the carbon piece itself, on the other side, don't mind like these two holes, but they all correlate with the OEM holes that are currently on the bumper. The self-tapping screws, let me show you guys what it looks like. The self-tapping screws that come with it, it's not going to work because there's nothing to tap into because they are just holes. So that's why you want to go this route. Obviously, you guys can just go to your local Ace Hardware or hardware store where you can buy these nuts and bolts. I'm only doing 4 because, well, I might just do another one here. But I'm not going to use all of them because this isn't going anywhere. I'm going to have the Maxon splitter below it to protect this. And this is legitimately not going anywhere. Like, it's on here pretty snug. But it came with self-tapping screws, but what I ended up doing was I just got some bolts and nuts that I had laying around. So similar to like this, for the more shallow ones, what I did was a nut that has a flange on the end. Don't mind my torn glove. And then a flange on the bolt side too. So all of the holes that come in these, in the carbon piece itself, on the other side, don't mind like these two holes, but they all correlate with the OEM holes that are currently on the bumper. The self-tapping screws that come with it, it's not going to work because there's nothing to tap into because they are just holes. So that's why you want to go this route. Obviously, you guys can just go to your local Ace Hardware or hardware store where you can buy these nuts and bolts. I'm only doing 4 because, well, I might just do another one here. But I don't want to, I'm not going to use all of them because this isn't going anywhere. I'm going to have the Maxon splitter below it to protect this. And this is legitimately not going anywhere. Like, it's on here pretty snug. So the only thing is, like, now that this is bolted down, there is still a gap right here. So not ideal, of course, but it's not terrible. Like, it's fine up until like this point. So basically this entire section, there's a gap. If you guys are able to, I might try to do it later on where I just heat up the bumper and try to get them to stick together. I'm gonna refrain from like using one of the self-tapping screws because there's a lip on there to get this to stick on there. Just really don't want to do that. This is the closest that you can get. And then if you look at the fitment on this side, let's move the lighting. It's close enough. So you can see, like, this is where the OE lip is. And then that's where the carbon is, if you guys can see that. So all of these holes that you guys see that have the little like protection on them, those were already on there and the holes were partially drilled. But what I did was I drilled them out a little bit more, so that's why you see the drill over there. All right, so this is what it looks like. Looks pretty sweet. Of course, you guys will see the B-roll once it's fully installed on the car. But the passenger side actually like fits way better. There's not much of a gap. There's a little bit right now, but I'll push that in to make sure that it sticks on there. Here's what it looks like with the Rex Speed carbon bumper garnish, I guess you can say. Looks pretty mean. And then there's the passenger side. Okay, so I'm test fitting it with the Maxon Street Pro lip that I have. So right now, I'm not a big fan of it, but I want to know what you guys think, so make sure to leave a comment down below. But basically, you can see this is not bolted down or anything. The front lip is there. It's sitting exactly how it would sit normally. But if you look at it from the top, the carbon piece actually sits out a little bit further than the lip itself, which is down there. With that being said, I'm gonna leave it off. Let me know what you guys think. If I should bother even installing it. Like, I mean, it looks cool from the front because at least you can see the lip, like right there. But on the sides, it doesn't really show. I mean, it's nice to have it because it'll protect the carbon from being scraped. However, on the flip side of that, the diffuser, or not diffuser, the splitter does sit lower, as you guys can see here. So, of course, with it sitting lower, it's going to scrape more on stuff, whereas the carbon part sits a little bit higher. However, the lip does protect the carbon because it is a very thick ABS plastic. And ever since I installed it, I've scraped the shit out of it, and it's still been fine. So for now, I'm going to leave it off. I'm just going to go ahead and install the bumper, and then we can go ahead and take a look and see what it looks like on the car. Here's what it looks like with the lip installed. Looks very legit. I honestly, even though the fitment isn't 100% perfect, especially on the passenger side, that's fine with me. Honestly, as the part itself is pretty high quality, and I do expect Extreme Online Store to do some revisions. The driver's side actually fits a little bit better, as you guys saw. But yeah, I mean, looks pretty sick. I would say definitely worth the pain, blood, sweat, and tears involved with the installation. So, like I said in the intro, I did use 4 or 5 bolts to get them seated in. This is not going anywhere. It's on here pretty well. The nice thing is, compared to, well, I'm kind of hoping, compared to when I had the Maxxon front lip, is it sat obviously a little bit lower, but this is essentially the stock height of it. I mean, my car is lowered, but the height of the front lip. I know a lot of A91 CF owners, they don't have any front lips installed because, I mean, honestly, like, this style looks pretty sick. I do kind of wish the Maxxon lip fit better, so it like rounds out more on the side, like what you guys were seeing, or what my initial thoughts were. And I wish there was something like over here to round it out. But outside of that, honestly, that's just me nitpicking. It does look pretty freaking badass. And I know I said in my previous videos, or if you guys have talked to me in person, I wasn't really looking forward to having carbon fiber on like the front lip, but hey, Extreme Online Store did me a solid, and now I have carbon there, mirror caps, wing, and then faux carbon. Well, it is faux carbon. It's basically hydro dipped for my spats, but I might get actual ones. But yeah, super happy with how this looks. Let's go ahead and recap the video and wrap it up. All right, there you guys have it. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you guys do like how this looks. Check out Extreme Online Store. I do want to give a big shout out to the subs and new viewers. I do appreciate you guys continuing to tune in with all of the videos that I release, regardless of whatever it is. Really means a lot. Of course, main goal for this year is hit 10,000 subs, and I can't do it without you guys. So appreciate it. If you guys have any comments, leave them down below. Like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.